Hello, hello, GM. GM. Hey, I'm Kevin Owocki. I founded Gitcoin. We funded $52 million worth of public goods in the Ethereum ecosystem. I believe that it is all coordination, and it always has been. We've been put here to coordinate the creation of a better future, and I am asking you to embark on an experiment in coordination with me tonight. And just bear with me, because it's gonna get weird. Hey, 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 send it back. All right, louder this time. Hey, hey, hey. Well, this is the last one. Let's make it good. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, Get Connect? Yo, we are so coordinated right now. And all the poor people who joined this ecosystem in 2020 don't even know about this meme, you sweet summer children. Wait, let's get connected with why we're here. That's my segue, everyone. I believe that Ethereum is a transparent, global, incorruptible, and programmable substrate for creating global coordination. And that's a big deal because it's all coordination, and it always has been. So what are we coordinating? What kind of world are we trying to bring into being with this technology? Well, traditionally, blockchain technologies have been associated with the cypherpunk ethos, which advocates for widespread cryptography and privacy-enhancing technologies and decentralization as a route to social and political change. In the last several years, I've noticed an increasingly solarpunk strand of the community, an art movement that envisions how the future might look if humanity succeeded in solving its contemporary coordination problems with a focus on sustainability and problems such as climate change and pollution. So I think that these are the values that we are manifesting, in which we are trying to create a world that maximizes humans thriving both on the sovereignty cypherpunk vector and also on the solarpunk sustainability vector. What's at stake as we do this is public goods like fresh air, herd immunity, open source software, public roads, and the many, many other public goods that are out there. And the paying down of global existential risks from things like climate change or underfunded digital infrastructure. These are coordination failures. I believe that the atomic building block of a more regenerative cryptoeconomic world is an impact DAO. Any DAO that creates a positive externality for the public, by the public. Proof of Humanity creates civil resistance on the Ethereum blockchain, and that allows thousands of people in Argentina and elsewhere to live on top of UBI. ClimaDAO creates carbon credits on the blockchain, which will allow us to pay down the carbon impact of the Ethereum ecosystem and the broader world. Gitcoin DAO creates funding and coordination for public goods. There are many, many different types of capital, and so do not let yourself believe that it is just financial capital that this blockchain ecosystem is about. Shout out to Greg Landua and the Regen Network, who tells us about 8 different types of capital: social, material, financial, living capital, intellectual capital, experiential capital, spiritual capital, and cultural capital will be the vectors through which Impact DAOs export positive externalities to the world. Impact DAOs can stack upon each other. Each Impact DAO benefits from all of the Impact DAOs adjacent to them and the Impact DAOs that are below them in the stack. And this is how Impact DAOs, the core atomic unit of a more regenerative cryptoeconomic infrastructure, are going to create a more positive impact on community. What I think is really cool is how quadratic funding can stack. You may have noticed that at Gitcoin, which we've funded $52 million worth of public goods so far, we are no longer just focused on the Ethereum ecosystem, but we are doing climate rounds, longevity rounds, advocacy rounds, and we are starting to partner with ecosystems like Uniswap, Tally Cash, and Polygon in order to build their ecosystems. I believe in quadratic funding, but I do not think that it is the only mechanism and funding source for a regenerative cryptoeconomic infrastructure. Impact DAOs can vary in mechanism and funding source. Gitcoin Grants leverages quadratic funding, and its funding source has been the Ethereum Foundation, DeFi DAOs, and NFTs. But look at Moloch DAO, which has a completely different and novel mechanism for pooling funds and allowing you to rage quit from those DAOs. The Token Engineering Commons has been experimenting with putting tokens on bonding curves in order to fund public goods. And retroactive public goods and my homies at Optimism have been working on badge holders and funding with $3 million per month of Optimism sequencer fees in order to fund public goods. The way these impact DAOs can stack is that we are creating a pluralistic infrastructure for funding public goods. Quadratic funding is one of the amazing mechanisms, but it is only one of the mechanisms. And I think that we talk a lot about client diversity at the base layer, creating anti-fragility foundation for the Ethereum network. We should also be thinking about anti-fragility in the form of pluralism in how we fund our public goods. And public goods are good, and we want to create a stable foundation in order to do that. Because once we create a pluralistic civilizational scale infrastructure for funding public goods, we can cross-pollinate what is working in the crypto ecosystem to open source software, which will allow us to pollinate out to the rest of the world the public good that we are funding in the Ethereum ecosystem. Software is eating the world and crypto is eating software, and we will ride this wave to a pluralistic civilizational scale infrastructure for funding public goods. Thank you, GM. My goal tonight is to create a stigmergic feedback loop in which we all realize that coordination is a choice, and we must all collectively take the green pill in order to create a more solar punk world. By taking the green pill, which is just a metaphorical way of saying that you're choosing to create a world that is more solar punk, we will all individually make the choice to coordinate instead of defect and to build this world. The title of my book that I wrote is How Crypto Can Regenerate the World. And I would love to title the next edition How Crypto Will Regenerate the World, but all coordination is a choice. And we can create the best systems in the world out there, but without the individual choice to use them to coordinate, it will all be for naught. Please help me in taking it from how crypto can regenerate the world to how crypto will regenerate the world. And in order, yeah, sure, thanks. I would like to invite you to take the green pill, which is just a metaphor for choosing to create this world. I would like to remind you, as you choose whether or not you're going to take the green pill, that for most people, the amount of happiness that they feel in their lives only scales up to 100K along with the amount of money that they make. And then it starts to plateau. So after you're making 100K per year, you're able to provide for your basic necessities, and your happiness becomes decoupled from the income that you can do for the world. But the good of what you can do for the world continues to scale along with your income. And it is here that I see an area of opportunity in which many of us had made generational wealth over the last several years to do something greater than ourselves and to choose to coordinate by giving back to this infrastructure, building a legacy for ourselves, and creating a positive regenerative cryptoeconomic world. So I would like to lead the charge tonight by taking the green pill and going to greenpill.party and pledging 1% of my net worth to funding public goods. And anyone else who wants to join me can go to greenpill.party, and you can subscribe to the new podcast about Green Pill that I've got going out on Bankless. You can read the book about regenerative cryptoeconomic infrastructure, and you can choose to take the green pill yourself by funding public goods with a percentage of your net worth. I believe that you should take the green pill because you want to create human thriving. You want to pay down existential risks like decaying infrastructure, to create a world in which your children's children will want to live in, to be a part of something that is bigger than yourself. And because the wealth that could be, that you could use to help the world won't make you any happier, but it'll help you make an impact and to increase your legacy. Take the green pill at greenpill.party. Peace out, Ethereum. I love you.